Donuts? I love donuts, Katrina whispered to her best friend, Olivia. The class was buzzing with excitement. Ms. Angie said, I haven't told you the best part. This party is called Donuts with Dad. You will each make special invitations just for your dads. This Friday at 10 a.m., your dads will come to our classroom. We will all make crafts, play games, and eat donuts. Katrina kept smiling as her classmates became even more excited, but inside, she was nervous. She knew her dad would not come. She hadn't seen him once since he left them. Katrina was relieved when Ms. Angie dismissed the class for recess. On the swings, Olivia could not stop talking about the donut party. I bet my dad will buy me a new outfit for Donuts with Dad. Maybe he'll even take me to the park after school. Katrina just smiled and pumped harder. She made the swings soar as she pretended to be a bird flying high over the playground. On Tuesday at art time, Katrina's class made special invitations that looked like a donut to give to their dads. Katrina made one, even though she was pretty sure her mom didn't even have her dad's address. At the end of the day, Katrina threw the invitation into her backpack and buried it under her jacket. On Wednesday during library, the librarian read a book called Just Me and My Dad. Katrina liked the book because the drawings were funny, and Mrs. Gray, the librarian, used very silly voices to read it. But the story also made her feel a little sad inside. On Thursday, it was time to go home, and everyone was packing up their things into their backpacks. Katrina saw the donut-shaped invitation in her backpack. She took it out and threw it in the trash on her way out the door. On Friday, Katrina kept looking at the clock. The dads were coming at 10. She wasn't very good at telling time, but she knew what 10 o'clock looked like because that was library time. As it got closer and closer to 10 o'clock, Katrina's tummy felt like it was filled with butterflies doing somersaults. What was she going to do when the other kids were playing games with their dads? Who would she sit with to eat her donut? Maybe she could sit with Olivia and her dad? Class, please take your circle time spots and I will open the door for our visitors. Katrina sat quietly, looking down at her lap. She could hear her classmates shouting, Dad, over here, Daddy, look at me, Dad. And then she heard a very soft voice say, Katrina. And at the same time, another loud, familiar voice saying, Hiya, kitty cat. Huh? Only one person in the whole world called her kitty cat. Katrina looked up and saw something that made all those butterflies in her tummy fly away for good. Standing in front of her were her beautiful mom and her big, smart, goofy brother, Brian. She could not believe her eyes. But how did you know? I threw away the invitation because I knew Dad wouldn't come. Her brother held out the crumpled donut-shaped paper. Oh, you mean this invitation? Miss Angie brought it over last night after you went to bed. She wanted to make sure we knew about the party, silly. We're a family and we stick together. Right, Mom? Absolutely. Now let's go find those donuts. The end.
You know what I found kind of interesting about it? That even though the teacher was understanding and going to the family, that they still, because so many schools still have dad dances and teachers understand that, you know, the daddy and daughter dances, teachers understand that these days, this is just, you know, we don't really, this is not a way of welcoming families anymore. But we still, school systems are just not ready to change with the times as it is. And it's just not divorced families, it's the construct of families now. Dads are just not always a part of families, or male figures are not always a part of families. And, but yet here we are. So I really applaud you, Kathleen. Thank you so much for that story.
So, hi, my name is Ingrid, and this is my little persona doll, Ingrid. I made her with this little pink dress and little like pigtails because as a little girl, that's just how my mom would dress me. Like she would just dress me with either purple or pink dresses. So that's why I just made her like that. So this is her. And then this is my book. Um, it's called The Big Scary Building, and then that's supposed to be me right here, and then this is a big building. It's supposed to be an immigration building because it's about a personal experience of me going through a court case with my dad, an immigration court case. So one Monday morning, my mom woke me up as usual to get ready. I thought that I was going to school, but my mom had let me know that I wasn't going to school today. That in fact, we were going to go to immigration with my dad to fix something important. I didn't really understand what that meant, but I continued to get ready with my mom anyway. As she did my hair, she said, Juliet, I want you to be on your best behavior because today is a very important day. And I said, okay, mom. We got in the car and my dad drove for what felt like a very long time. While we were in the car, I said, Dad, where are we going? My dad said, we are going to an immigration court to see if my permit to stay in the US is granted. I stayed quiet. I started to get scared because I didn't want my dad to go away and leave. My dad saw the worry in my face and said, don't worry, everything is going to be okay. After a very long drive, we arrived at a huge, big, scary building with guards and people in a huge line. I felt scared. The guards were letting people in the building one by one. I was so confused why there were men in uniform looking like police officers. My dad, mom, and I walked to the front of the building, and the officer let us walk inside and walked us into an elevator. We got to the sixth floor and walked into a waiting room. They called my dad into a room, and me and my mom followed him inside. While we were in the room, the lady in the front, who was a judge, started talking and said the word deportation. And I saw the worry in my dad's face. Seeing him get upset scared me because I didn't want my dad taken away from me. And I just wanted to understand why my dad couldn't stay here. After hours of my family and I being in that room, the judge lady finally said, your work permit has been granted. You will receive it in the mail. My dad's eyes lit up and I could see the happiness in him. I looked up at my mom and asked, does that mean daddy can stay now? My mom smiled at me and said, yes, honey, your daddy's going to be here with us. I felt like the happiest girl in the world because my dad was staying here with us. We left that room together as a family that day, but I still didn't understand why we had to come here. So I asked my dad, Daddy, why did we have to come here for you to stay here with me? My dad said, I wasn't born here in the US, honey. So I'm considered an immigrant, which means I can't be here without a permit. But thankfully my permit got granted and now I can stay here with you. We went back home and I was so happy and relieved that my dad was going to be staying with me after seeing that big scary building and scary men in uniforms and also waiting in a huge line. My dad looked at me and said to me, I will never stop fighting for you. I will always try my hardest to be here for you all the time. I smiled at my dad, gave him a huge hug, and said, I'm so happy that you're here with me and that you can stay here with me now.
Good job, Lovey. Why were you so nervous?
I don't know. It's just when I start to see people just staring at me, I don't know.
You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
And it was a great story. Thank you so much. We'll talk about it at the end, okay?
Okay.
Good job. Thank you.
This is my doll.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. And she's on the cover, same way, forever in ponytails. And this is called Do I Have to Hug Everyone? It says, hi, my name is Marianne. I am 5 years old and I live with my mom, my dad. I also have one older brother and a younger sister. I have lots of cousins, aunts, and uncles. Every Sunday, we all go to my Nana and Grandpa's house for dinner. In our culture, it is traditional to give everyone a hug and a kiss hello. Sometimes there are relatives or friends of the family at my grandparents' house that I have never met before, but I am told that I have to give them a hug and a kiss hello because that is what we do. Sometimes I feel comfortable and sometimes I feel uncomfortable hugging someone I don't know. So today I'm going to ask my mom why. Why do I have to hug somebody I don't know? My mom said this is the way we greet family and friends. Do you feel uncomfortable hugging or giving people kisses? I told her I like hugging my aunts and uncles, and I love hugging my grandfather. He has a beard that's scratchy and it tickles me. She said, if you do not feel comfortable hugging or kissing or hugging someone, you don't have to, but you should say hi to them. I smiled and said, I can do that. And I went to my room and played. While I was playing, I thought, when I become a mom, I'm going to tell my baby, if you do not feel comfortable hugging someone, you don't have to. You can just smile and say hi. The end.
Good job, Marianne. You're the only person that's given me a hug or a touch book about autonomy, which is, a huge deal at this age too, in understanding a child's autonomy and their comfort level. That they have a say about their body, and so good job. And your mom had a great answer for it, and you carried that through with your own son too. So great job. Thank you. And can we see your doll again?
Isn't she pretty?
She's very pretty.
Okay.
And you embroidered her face?
Her face is embroidered. Her
Wow.
eyes, she looks, and unfortunately, her eyes look funny because I tried to do eyelashes and her eyes, she looks kind of like she's squinting.
The dolls are beautiful. The dolls are just beautiful. And I loved Kathleen's illustrations. They look just like Kathleen. I feel like I know her family.
My husband helped with those.
So they're just all great. Thank you. Maria, are you ready? Okay, go ahead, love.
Okay, so this is my doll. She has really long hair. I have always had long hair and actually love my long hair. And this is my book. Can you see it one? I don't know. Okay, it's I Am Lupe. I am someone with really curly hair and a really tall stature. Let me go a little bit. I have always been skinny and others would say scrawny. I have light brown skin and long dark brown hair. I have been taught to have confidence in myself and to never run away from any life challenges. My name is Lupe and I have learned to really love who I am. But I had to get through some obstacles to get to the place that I'm at now. That's me. No matter the place, I have always been labeled as either the really tall girl, a tomboy, and even as the awkward girl, just because I wouldn't dress or act like the other girls. I would sometimes isolate myself from the other kids because I would sometimes feel like I didn't belong. I would always stand out from the rest of the children because I was so tall. You would be able to point me out because I would be towering over the rest of the kids. I have always been told how I've needed to dress and act. My mom would always make sure that my sister and I always looked our best and presentable. No matter the occasion, dressing up and looking our best has always been my mom's rules for my sister and I. As I grew older, I started to realize that she always had higher standards for her daughters than she did for her sons. This meant having to dress up in the clothes that my mom would pick out for my sister and I, having our hair pulled out of our faces, and acting the way that she wanted us to. But the thing was, I didn't always like wearing the clothes that my mom would choose out for us. I've always felt more comfortable wearing jeans and a t-shirt, but I've never told my mom anything because she always got so much joy dressing us up. As I grew older, I started to become more active and I liked playing out in the yard. My favorite activities involved me throwing the ball out around and climbing up to the highest point of the jungle gym. I would sometimes play by myself and I would overhear the other kids making jokes about me. They would say things like, "How's the weather up there?" And even say that I acted more like a boy than a girl because I was always outdoors and I would play activities and I wouldn't play the activities that they liked. One day, my sister was passing through the yard and she heard some of the other kids talking about me. She pulled me off to the side and said, "Lupe, why are the kids saying all those things about you? Maybe you should say something." I just stared at my sister and I didn't know what to say. The more that the kids started to talk about me around my sister, I started to feel myself getting more anxious. I started to shuffle around and then I looked down at my feet and I said, "It's easier to stay quiet than to say anything at all. I feel like if I were to say anything, it would just make the situation worse. I sometimes wish that I wasn't so different and I acted a little more like the other girls. Maybe they wouldn't tease me so much if I were a little bit more like them." My sister was surprised by the words that I had just spoken. "Lupe, being different isn't a bad thing. No two people are alike, and our differences is what makes us all unique. I have seen you grow into this strong, confident, and powerful girl. You need to remember that being a girl doesn't always have one specific meaning. Being a girl doesn't always have a definition because we are all our own person. You should never be ashamed of who you truly are. You should always walk with your head held high because you know who you are on the inside." As I looked at my sister and I was hearing her speak, I felt her words lifting me up. I know that it doesn't matter if we are tall, short, big, or small. We are all unique in our own way. I've learned that staying quiet does more harm than good because no one knew how I truly felt. Their words and actions were hurting me on the inside, but keeping it all in didn't make anything better. I now know that nothing in this world will change me for who I truly am. We live in a world where you are free to be who you are, and I am free to be who I am. We all have a place in this world where it's okay to express ourselves without having to feel ashamed or judged by others. Being me means loving myself for who I am. I am Lupe, and I know that being me is what makes me unique. And that's the end.
Beautiful job. Thank you. Beautiful. Great job. Thank you. All right. I see more people. Meadow, are you going today or are you here to watch? Okay, let's go. Are you ready now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here is my doll, my persona doll. Yeah, I had really blonde hair when I was younger. Not so much anymore, and I was very pale, and I still am, just kind of red too. So yeah, that's my doll. And here's my book. I titled it "Celebrate." And yeah, It's about a girl like me who couldn't celebrate holidays but found a different way to celebrate. Today is a special day. You see, today I am 4 years old. I won't eat a cake, blow out a candle, or have a party like you probably would, but I'll relish in the fact that I am getting bigger. My body is growing. I'm taller than I've ever been. I am 1 year closer to playing with the big kids in kindergarten. Every day I'm getting closer to losing a tooth, just like my cousin. He's 6. Today is a special day. I woke up real early to birds chirping loudly outside my window. I asked my mom why they were talking so much today. She replied, "It's the first day of spring, sweetheart." When I stepped outside for school, I noticed pink, purple, and yellow flowers that I'm positive weren't there when I went to bed last night. At school, my friends will be searching for eggs stuffed with special treats, but I'll be searching for new spring flowers. I'll fill my basket with their sweet scent. While they decorate eggs, I'll arrange my flowers in a bouquet to bring home to my family. Today is a special day. The leaves are starting to change colors. Some change from green to yellow, others change from yellow to red. When I step outside, I can feel a crisp breeze on my skin. That's why my mom says I have to wear a sweater to preschool today. At school, my friends will probably paint pictures of jack-o'-lanterns. For me, I'll paint the brightest, most orangest pumpkin with the biggest green leaves you ever did see. On the weekends, I'll drink so much apple cider, I'll give myself a tummy ache. Today is a special day. There's a cold chill in the air and dark clouds overhead. The trees have lost all of their leaves. I can't forget my rain boots and umbrella. Looks like I'm gonna need them. Don't forget your jacket, says my mom. At school, my friends will be excited. They'll be getting ready to exchange gifts with each other. They'll talk about their Christmas tree or dreidel. They'll tell each other all about the presents they hope to get. They sure do love this time of year. Me? I love this time of year too, but for different reasons. You see, I love the rain. There's not much that makes me happier than splashing in puddles. When my friends ask, I'll tell them how excited I am to stay home from school and have extra time with my family. We may even take a drive to have an adventure in the snow. Today is a special day. Why, you may ask? Because I made it so. You won't see me celebrating holidays, but I sure do love to celebrate. I celebrate life every way I know how.
Wow, Meadow. You did it.
Thank you.
Great job. Because Meadow, I don't know if everybody knows, but you had to struggle with how to do this from a perspective that could be positive, and you really, really did it. I am so proud of you, Meadow.
Thank
That
you.
was beautifully done. And I don't know how you got that book bound and so professional looking, but you sure did a gorgeous job.
Thank you. My mom actually has a little binder machine.
Oh, she has a binder maker thing?
Yeah, so I got to go use that, which was nice. But thank
I
you.
have to say, moms and sisters are coming through for everybody. Yesterday, also, moms and sisters, people were dedicating books yesterday, Joy, huh? To their sisters and moms, and great job. Can we see your doll again?
Yeah. She's
And
kind
turn
of
around.
same as the girl on the book. So
See, today people are finishing dolls. Yesterday, we only had fronts of dolls, really.
you can see her.
Today we have backs of dolls too. I don't know. You guys have yarn, Marianne. All right. Is this it for today? It looks that way,
No,
huh?
Professor, I actually have my book I wanted to present. Just give me one
Well,
second.
Diana, give us like a video. Like,
Yes.
turn on your video.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
No
Okay.
problem.
Speaker view. Let's go.
Okay, hi everyone. So this is my book. It's called I Love Me. So it starts off, today is a special day. Let me see, let me get a good angle for this. Today is a special day for Abby. She wakes up bright and early to her favorite breakfast. Abby loves to eat eggs and bacon. Her dog Bruce loves to watch her eat. After her breakfast, she feeds Bruce. Abby and her mom head out the door. The school bus is waiting for Abby. It's the first day of school. It's the first day for Abby to make new friends. But she is most excited because her mom brushed her hair and she picked her clothes for school. Abby thought and thought. Oh, sorry, I skipped a page. There you go. Abby was so happy to play with her new friends. She met Susan and Emily. As they were playing jump rope, Susan asked Abby if she brushed her hair. Emily giggled and said, "You have lion hair." This made Abby so sad. Abby wanted to tell Miss Louise, but she decided not to. But what Abby didn't know was that Miss Louise heard and saw what happened. Abby thought and thought. She felt confused. Why did Emily and Susan say that about me? She remembered her mom brushing her hair in the morning. And Abby also realized that she was the only person to have curly hair. It was at that moment that she noticed that she was different than others. She noticed that Emily and Susan had straight hair, and it made her feel sad. Abby still couldn't believe that Emily compared her to a lion. She thought, "I don't look like a lion. I don't have fur or whiskers." But the only similarity was the color of her hair, brown. But a lion's hair isn't curly. It's thin and straight. Abby kept looking for someone who had hair like hers, but couldn't find anyone. When Abby got home from school, she told her mom what happened. Abby begged her mom to pin her hair back. Abby's mom told her, "Abby, you need to love your hair like you love yourself. Be proud of your curls no matter what." But Abby really wanted to have her hair pinned back, or at least straight, like the other girls from school. Abby's mom told her that she has to be brave. The next day, Abby went to school. She couldn't believe what she saw. There was new children at her school who weren't there yesterday, and Abby noticed something amazing. Mrs. Louise had curly hair like hers too. Abby thought, "Mrs. Louise always has her hair straight, long black straight hair. How is this possible?" Mrs. Louise began to teach the class by saying, "Everyone is different, and that's what makes you beautiful." She then explained that her hair is actually curly, like Abby's. Abby felt so happy that she yelled, "I love me." And then that's the end. And then here's my doll.
It looks just like the picture.
Yeah, I tried.
Wow.
I tinted the sock with a marker. I took the ink out of a marker and I put it in hot water and I let the sock soak in there so I could get her skin a little tan.
Yeah. Wow. Good job. Look at you, Diana. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good job. Are we done? Okay, so who was with me yesterday? Janelle was with me yesterday. Joy was with me yesterday. Isn't it interesting that even the content from yesterday to today was different? Yesterday, our groups really were about, there was that immigration trend yesterday and divorce trend yesterday. And today's really the I love me trend today. And it's very interesting how it's like almost like they've grouped themselves and didn't even know that they were grouping themselves. You know, it's so interesting, but kept up the same quality. I think the quality of work is really good that you've all done. And I'm really, really proud of you. And it went, all too fast. I wish that this could have been something that we've been doing all semester, just book writing. I wish we had a book writing class because you guys do some really good storytelling. I wish there was a storytelling class. That would be awesome because you have stories.